In this video we're going to take a look at the Gatchaman Godphoenix produced by Unifive in 2001. This is a super rare item these days. It was even quite hard to find at the time at 2001 and is really a gem of toys. You'll see here the box. It's a fairly plain looking box and a little bit on the cheap looking side, but what's inside it is really quite excellent. On the back it gives you quite a nice sort of diagram showing you what you get. You get the Gatchaman Godphoenix. You get 4 other little mini vehicles that slot into the Godphoenix, and you also get Mark's Sonic Boomerang toy. This is a second release of the Gatchaman Godphoenix. The first release came with a plastic fiery phoenix shell that went over the ship. This second release they got rid of that because it didn't actually work particularly well and replaced it with the Sonic Boomerang. The paint job on the ship is also a slightly different colour. So let's get this box open and I'll show you what's inside. So here we have what you get inside the package, and it is the Gatchaman Godphoenix. Now this is a fantastic model. Let's first sort of show you the Sonic Boomerang, because this is a bit of a sort of a throwaway item. It's made out of a sort of a soft PVC type plastic and is well, it's the right scale if you want to use it for a cosplay or something like that, but it's not the greatest things. It does look like it did in the show, which is quite nice, but it's just a bit of a gimmick and doesn't really fit with the rest of the toy. Now, the Gatchaman Godphoenix. Now this is an impressive toy. It's made out of die-cast metal and plastic. It's a little bit light in tone, but this is the second release of the toy, which has a sort of a slightly lighter blue colour to it. The first release was much more dark in shading and looked exactly the same colour as the toy in the show. This has quite a few great features. It comes on a stand, which is always quite nice, and the stand is quite a nice shape. It's very reminiscent of the island that the team lived on in the cartoon, so that's quite a nice sort of little feature. Let's move that to the side for 1 second. Now the toy itself has quite a lot of nice features. First off, the wings fold down. Again, this happened in the show, so you can see they're now sort of angled down. I'll fold them back up again. So that's quite good. The vents on the side open and close. There are 2 levers on the bottom here. You can see if I move those, they open and close. It's quite good. There's also landing gear. This is a little bit fiddly to get the landing gear down. A lot of this toy suffers from just requiring very sort of small fingers and hands to get those open. I can't actually even get that one down. So that's the first landing gear down. The front landing gear, if I can just fiddle with that a little bit. As you can see, it's just a little bit fiddly. Let's try that one more time. There we go. So there we have all 3 landing gears down, so you can land the vehicle quite nicely, like so. Very nice. And then there's one final little gimmick. Let me just put these landing gears back. In that there's a missile on the top. If I press this button here, the missile launches up. This missile actually doesn't detach, it stays in place, but again, that's a feature from the show, so that's quite good. There are 4 other vehicles included with this, which all sort of fit inside the Godphoenix. If I remove the front nose section here, you'll see there's a small racing car included in the front. Again, a very nice detailed model, lots of sort of fine paintwork on that. It's a very fiddly toy though. This is reminiscent of the original Poppy Bandai Gatchaman vehicles that had small little vehicles that were easily lost. This one even has rotating wheels, which is quite nice for something so small. In the wing sections there are other vehicles, as you can see here. If I just open this bottom thing, Princess's bike is there. Again, pretty detailed model considering it's only about 1.5 centimeters long, a very tiny little thing. On this side we have Tiny's sort of budgie like vehicle. If I open that, you can see that's held in place there. Again, a nice little model. This one is held in by a small little bracket. It feels like it's going to break every time you sort of play with it, so you do have to be a little bit careful on this one. I'll just try and detach it. There you go, there's Tiny's vehicle. Quite nice detailed paint job. And then The final one is Mark's Spaceship, which is hidden in the back here. If we open out these two back doors, you can pull out Mark's Spaceship, which makes the final tail fin of the vehicle here. And this has flip out wings like so. Again, this is a pretty nice model. It even has a tiny little landing gear set on it, if you can see there. Yeah, it's a little bit sort of cheap and cheerful, this one, but it's surprisingly good for what it is. And this is a key one. If you lose this, then it ruins the toy, because you need it for the rear wing like so. This is a particularly nice vehicle. It's not really designed to be played with. It's so sort of flimsy in places, and all of these wing bits are just made of plastic, so it could easily be broken, but it does look really great on display. And if you're a fan of Gatchaman like I am, the sort of key thing you want from the show is the Phoenix, the Godphoenix, and this is probably the best model that you can get of it. It's not that easy to find. It wasn't that easy to find at the time I went to Japan and picked this up. You can still get them, but they are pretty expensive these days, as there's enough Gatchaman fans out there that want to buy them and will happily pay for them. As you can see, when it's on its stand, it really is a nice ship, and it looks really great on display. These were made by Unifive in around 2001, the first darker model. This later one I think was sort of 2002, 2003, although the box doesn't actually have any extra information on it. So anyway, if you're a Gatchaman fan, I hope that's of interest to you, and yeah, if you want to get one, they're well worth getting. Thanks for watching.